Hello everyone, welcome to Aptitude Jab. This set says that in a chemistry practical there were 6 students who had to identify 7 chemical solutions. The chemicals were A, B, C, D, E, F, G and the solutions were labeled S1 to S7, not necessarily in the same order as above. The students identified the solutions as given in the table. It is also given that each solution was correctly identified by at least one student. The number of correct answers for each student was different and none of them had all answers correct. So that means no one got all 7 correct. Okay. Now let us try to understand one important thing here. Let us say uh, Lena got, so Lena answered A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Let us suppose Lena got A, B, C, D, E correct. Till E she got correct. So either she will get both of these correct so that she gets a 7 if she gets F and G correct, or she will get both incorrect. So she will be able to get 5. Similarly, for any person, either all 7 will be correct or it could be 5. So no one can get 6 correct because all have answered different options. I mean, for different solutions, they've given different uh, names, right? So it is like match the following question. So either you get all correct, so or you get 2 less than the maximum correct. So you cannot get 1 less than the maximum as the correct answer. So you cannot, no one will get 6 correct answers. So the number of correct answers will be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0. There are 6 students. So these will be the number of correct responses. Now let us start with the this part, that each solution was correctly identified by at least one student. Now if you see, A is answered for only S1 or S2. So either S1 is A or S2 is A. Okay. Our natural gut, what will the natural gut say? That A should be S1 because most of them answered it, right? So let us assume that S1 is solution A. Okay. Now we know that there is a person who got 0 correct. So if that person got 0 correct, that person could only be Harshita. She could be the, because all of them have got one answer correct. So if Harshita got all incorrect, all these answers will be wrong. Okay. Now if you see solution 5, she answered E. So that means the answer should be C. And this she answered G. So the answer should be B. Okay. Now let us look at solution S3. S3, the answer cannot be F because she answered it F and she got it wrong. Now it cannot be B because we know S7 is B, and it cannot be C because S5 is C. So there is no possible answer, right? So that means our assumption, this assumption itself is wrong. So this will give us that she was the only person to identify it correctly. So this is not A, but it is C. This is C and this will be A. Okay. Now let us remove all C's because that is C. Okay. And well, so that we have removed these as the answer. So the answer is E because C or E. So C is here. So this will be E. Now E is done and we can remove all E's from others. Okay. Now one of them has to get 0 answers. Right? There is one who should get 0 answers. So it can be Isha or it can be Kanya. Right? You cannot have others getting 0 correct because they have got at least S5 correct. Everyone has got S5 correct thus far. So that means either Isha or Kanya should get a 0. So let us assume that Kanya gets a 0. Right? If Kanya gets a 0, this will not be F, this will be B. Okay, this will not be G. Okay, and this cannot be B also. And this cannot be B. This will be G. If this is G, can we remove any other thing? Okay, so we cannot remove any other thing as of now. But now if you see this, uh, this is C, A. One of them has to be D and F. Okay, so if you take, let us say we take F and D. Okay, let us just take F and D and count the correct responses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 correct responses. 1, 2, 3 correct responses. 1, 2, 3, 4 correct responses. 0. Okay, this is 1 and 2 correct response, and this person also gets 2 correct response. Okay, so that is not possible because one should get 1 correct response. Now let us take the another case, right? Let us say this is not F, this is D. Okay, we were confused between these two. So let us say this is D and this is F. This is D and this is F. So if we take it F, so that means now this will get 4 correct responses. This will get 2 correct responses, 2 correct responses. So that is not possible. Okay, 3 and 1. No one is getting 5. Okay, so this means our assumption that Kanya got a 0 is incorrect. Okay, so what does it mean? It means that Isha got a 0. So now we'll have to go back to finding that Isha got a 0. Okay, if Isha gets a 0, so this we had found that was E. So Isha gets a 0, all these will be incorrect. Okay, so this means this solution is B because Isha got it wrong. This has to be B. And then this is obviously F. Okay, this is F. This has to be G or D. And E and F gone. So this is D and this is G. So let us count the correct responses based on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 0 that we had assumed. Okay, and then we have 2 correct responses. 1, 2, 3 correct responses, 1 correct response, and 4 correct responses. So it satisfies this condition that all of them got different correct responses. No one can get 6. I told you the reason why. And 7, they have already given that no one got 7 correct responses. So this is how we shall solve this question. Now let us answer the questions based on this set. Which solution is S4? S4 is G. How many solutions were identified correctly by exactly 2 people? So one person, F was identified by 2 people. Then we have G, this was identified by 2 people. This identified by 4, 3 and 2. So there are 3 such solutions which are identified correctly by 2 people. How many solutions did Janvi identify correctly? Janvi identified 2 solutions. Who identified the maximum number of solutions correctly? So that is Harshita. So this is the solution to the set and the answers to the questions related to it.